You can't listen to the propaganda from people online who accepted a bribe with drug dealers who have them picked up with a brothel for Playboy to be party promoters, to be raped and killed, or to have deals with a mental. They're a successful, godly influencer who never did business at the club. They can't be compared to employee prostitutes at the club who party with the billionaires. Asylum to rape and kill them for Satanists who own the drug companies. That's why homeless people are kicked out when they work minimum wage and they're raped before they become gay. For 20 years, they worked outside of that network. So for 20 years, they had success, they had support, they worked at the top percentage, they never went to the club. But if they're kicked out, they'd be a homeless martyr. And they're compared to the party promoters who are partying with employee prostitutes at the club. Homeless people have to have a restraining order. God says the FBI doctors and lawyers outside of a brothel protect homeless people from slave trade drug dealer rapists at the club, owning pharmaceuticals for satanic media. That's the media they didn't do. I have a referral for sales for my homeless millennial network who works for companies who should get paid for life. As a referral for people who worked for companies for too much manual labor for 10 years or 20 years, where they just ran out of money. It has to save their lives because every drug dealer at the club who works for the CEOs with pharmaceuticals for satanic media is a criminal, and they end up homeless as a rapist. So you have all these homeless criminal rapists, and they just had a successful company as a supermodel. As a referral for celebrity retail 20-year sales reps who need to stay away from that network. To rescue their party promoting network who are successful after 20 years of sales. They don't need to be party promoting. It has to protect them when they actually had a job for 20 years. As a male prostitute or female prostitute, to have a room while they're working minimum wage. Because there are all these criminals who are involved with the drug scene. And you can't allow bullying with successful businesses who never worked with drug dealers as a prostitute. For 20 years, they have more than beautiful models who are kicked out of their house under a bridge. And they're compared to the employee network at the club, exploited by party promoters who are just employee prostitutes. They have to be protected from the whole rapist drug dealer community for all the satanic employee pimp CEOs at the club who own the drug companies. At the club because they never did. So they can't be bullied by those people and their ideas to brainwash people into thinking they have to be gainful or have to be gainfully employed at all. They put $1.2 million into a really successful business with a top percentage and they never partied. But if they're kicked out, they could be a martyr because they can't afford to do it and they're exploited by CEOs who pimp employee prostitutes because it's corrupt and they own the healthcare for satanic media. It became corrupt after 20 years of successful businesses working, so they have to be rescued to protect Christian families, kids who don't need to party promote and have to be rescued and protected from the employee prostitutes when they have a more successful business. Or predators who lie to them with adultery, who pimped their own kids. It's propaganda for slave trade when they earn money according to law, when they never worship the idols, as a referral to rescue their sales network. Their sales network has a restraining order from all slave trade, and so do they, from all slave trade investments. Every accomplice will be prosecuted by law. It's a death penalty for any accomplice who directly kill the millennials with deals with the pharmaceuticals and slave trade for the healthcare.